Well, in case you didn't get a chance to actually count them all, there are 90,000 people crammed into the JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. It's 5:21 in the afternoon in Philadelphia, and it's, what, 10:21, 10:22 here in London. We are in the West End of London with Live Aid, and we're at a nightclub. I won't actually give the location away of it because it may get a bit overcrowded a bit later on. What we're actually doing here is holding a reception for all the stars who've been involved in Live Aid today, and I'm sure you'll agree that those people who have given their services completely free of charge at Wembley Stadium today to do those wonderful performances deserve a reception tonight to say thank you very much. So they're all making their way down through London, through the traffic now, to the nightclub. The major problem we have is that there's a firework display in London tonight in Hyde Park as well, and that's holding everything up. David Bowie's going to end up going up on a rocket, I know tonight, I can see it all coming. But also there's people dropping in to help us out this evening and to watch what's coming in from America as well. Duncan Goodhew is here. Good evening.
Nice to see you, Mike.
Nice to see you.
What a wonderful evening it's been, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing all these people. It's wonderful.
As they float in through the door, in a pile of sweat, no doubt, tonight. Were you actually at Wembley today?
No, I wasn't. I actually sat at home having a little barbecue, and those photographs came up round about when I had the dinner in front of me, and it really did affect me, and I hope it has everybody else.
I think it was the most harrowing thing that I think I've seen, because David Bowie had just done his set on BBC Two this afternoon, and he then introduced that package that came from CBC television, and those pictures came up, and it really was. Well, I cried. I have to be honest. I cried, and I rang up some friends, and they were doing the same thing.
Well, I think it's something we take for granted, but I've been so impressed with today because I've been taking part twice already in what I considered to be the greatest show on earth, and that's the Olympic Games. I think today it's been beaten, and it's been beaten for all the right reasons. I mean, we competed against each other. Today we saw the greatest stars competing together for one thing, and that's to help people.
Well, I heard David Bowie say tonight in an interview that he would like it all to happen again next year. He says he'll do it again next year. He wants everybody else to do it every year until famine stops. Perhaps that's a high hope, but let's see what we can achieve before 4 o'clock on Sunday morning anyway. Now, a little taster of what is coming your way entertainment-wise on Live Aid on BBC One and Radio 1 till 4 o'clock Sunday morning. This lot.
You might think I'm foolish, but baby, it's untrue. You might think I'm crazy, all I want is you. You've been abusing her for too long. Like you're a king, she's your throne. Get ready now, 'cause pretty soon she'll be gone and you'll be on your own. Dance into the fire to fatal sounds of broken dreams. Dance into the fire. That fatal kiss is all we need. Dance into the fire.
Music can be such a revelation. Dancing around, you feel a sweet sensation. We might be lovers if the rhythm's right. I hope this feeling never ends tonight.
You're out of touch, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around. You're out of touch, I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head when you're not around. Oh, 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 oh. I'm lucky at love. Yes, I got the winning touch. Yes, I'm lucky at love. Suddenly I'm dangerous.
And you're private dancer, a dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. And you're private dancer, a dancer for money. And any old music will do.
Well, whether there's actually any room on the stage in Philadelphia for the pairs of lips of Mick Jagger and Tina Turner together, we shall have to wait and see later on, because they promised to do a duet. We saw Mick Jagger doing his little duet with David Bowie on video earlier on. This duet with Tina Turner is going to be live. Let us go back across the Atlantic now to Philadelphia, to the JFK Stadium, and take a look inside there to see what is going on at the moment. They are waiting for the Cars to come on stage fairly soon, and I can see one of their hunky presenters on stage. They get all sorts of stars up on the stage in America. I don't quite recognise that one at the moment. Any moment now, we're expecting Kenny Loggins to go on stage in America once they finish the annual Frisbee throwing competition. Still no sign of Kenny Loggins. The Frisbees are going backwards and forwards onto the stage. I think you may well be right that Chevy Chase is actually, Duncan Goodhew is just saying that Chevy Chase is actually on the stage. For those people who are listening on the radio and not watching the television, Chevy Chase appears to be having what is a Frisbee throwing competition with 90,000 people. And I would say that the 90,000 people are winning at the moment, so as there's no sign of Kenny Loggins, we'll have a chat with Duncan Goodhew.
Well, actually, Kenny Loggins is one of those fantastic artists. I saw him at a little kind of Coliseum, and it was before he'd become very big. And I actually went to see Dave Mason of Traffic, who is the most super kind of American artist. And suddenly they got together, and there it was, Kenny Loggins up front. Great performance.
But not tremendously well known in this country. He had a hit here last year with the Footloose theme tune, which I think has probably got him going a bit here, but we've not seen too much of him here at all.
Yeah, it's a shame really, because he moves so well on stage, and he knocks it out to everybody, and I think they'll enjoy it out there in the States, certainly.
We were talking about the Olympics and the fact that it looks as though the Olympics in 1992 are going to be in Birmingham. You've been involved with that a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, well, what's happened is they've won the American bid, the British bid, to go forward, and they'll have to compete against all the other countries putting through their bids. So it's a big step for Birmingham to win over Manchester and London. And I think it's good for Britain, because if there's any city, it is Birmingham having the greatest chance. Right. I laughed. I thought it was funny at first, but it all kind of sticks together because of the infrastructure of the town.
Right. And I think it's events like we've seen today that prove that you can actually do these enormous global events now, can't you?
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of television and being able to be at the place at a certain time. And it's a shame it's not used more, and it's very good to see it used in such a good way as it is tonight.
I think one of the things that's impressed me today is the fact that television has proved that it has no boundaries. There are no political or physical boundaries that stop television. I mean, we've been going out today in the USSR, all over the world, and that same feeling seems to have been coming back from those countries.
Well, I think that's a lovely thing, because in my trip over to Russia, I felt that there was a gap. And if we can get things like this and exchanges of ideas and everything, we're a long way to helping not only what's happening in Ethiopia, but other problems in the world too.
Right. Well, I've already seen a few performers arriving here this evening from Wembley. They are fighting their way through the traffic to get to us. I've seen Sade come in here this evening, so when we get a chance to have a chat with her, she did an excellent set this afternoon with all her hits involved with that. She's come in. I think a few other drifting in through the door at the moment. Let's just, if we can we possibly check up with the satellite and just see what's happening in Philadelphia, see what's going on in the States, if we possibly can cross over there. No, still, you can see Chevy Chase now having a miming competition. Let's have a listen to Chevy.